The goddess has awakened and she's moving in her greatness. Learning to breathe, learning to see, learning to be free. Bring it down from my dreams, commune with deities. Little baby the light, and she working that shadow side every night. Divine be guiding me out of this web that got us so stuck. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. Divine be calling me. All of the answers lie within me. I write the path, remember it now. You wrote the path, remember it now. And she working that shadow side every night.
What's up? Hey everybody, love and light, peace and blessings. It's your girl Catalea, and welcome to another Catalea's World. I wish I had like the little hand claps where you could go ah. So I'm chilling. Today is my lazy Saturday where I'm actually just cleaning, taking food out for Sunday dinner. What else did I do today? Shit, just a lot of household duties type thing. And so today, I pulled up in my PJs, as y'all can see, the PJs. I pulled up in my pajamas because, I just wanted this to be like a real, more relaxed conversation. I think like my days for like getting like super dolled up and dressed up and stuff for YouTube has sailed. Y'all might see me, it depends on how I feel. But if I'm in the mood to just chill and just relax, and I'm just gonna do that. And so that's what I'm here. And I think this conversation is more so like a chill, relaxed type of conversation that I would want to have with you guys. So to start these off, I'm gonna give myself a celebratory peace. Ebony, how you doing? I'm gonna give myself a celebratory shot. Now, this celebratory shot, y'all, is for me overcoming being a pushover. This celebratory shot is for me getting through some of the most difficult times of my life, which happened this last year. And even thinking that, yes, day drink, even thinking that at one point in time, like, oh yes, this was all well worth it. All the struggles, all the things I've been through, it was well worth it. And only to find out that particular thing got detoured for me too as well, which we will talk about that on another live. We're gonna talk about that on another live, y'all. But yeah, so that's what this is for. This celebratory shot is making it through some of the most difficult times. So I'm gonna extend my shot glass up to you guys. So, woo! I made it, bitch! I made it. I made it. So, let's get into this topic. It's not really a topic. It's just me having a conversation with you guys. Like over the years, I have acquired so much wisdom, right? I've acquired so much wisdom. And I remember one of the things that I prayed for as a child, like when I was with you next year, one of the things that I prayed for as a child when I was growing up was I prayed for wisdom, right? That was one of the things. So, I don't know why I feel like my forehead looked like it got veins coming out. But anyway, That's one of the things that I prayed for. I prayed for wisdom. And me not really understanding like what exactly it is that I was praying for, y'all. I didn't really get that when you pray for wisdom, oh my God, you better be very careful of what you're praying for. You better be very fucking careful because in order to acquire wisdom, you have to go through certain things, right? You got to go through so much stuff just to get wisdom. So what I didn't understand is I was doing what Free Soul said, being on the road less traveled, right? I was being on the road less traveled. So that's one thing that I prayed for. Let me get comfortable because we're gonna be here for a while. So that's one of the things that I prayed for. I prayed to acquire wisdom, right? So, man, I was a hothead growing up. Like, I was a hothead. I was the girl who, you know, was fighting everybody and all of that. Now, the beginning stages of me was sweet, was kind, loving, giving, you know, um, very soft. I was more so soft spoken and very gentle natured. Like that's who I was in my beginning stages when I was a younger girl. But then like getting into like middle school and early high school, I got bullied. I got picked on, and I had my first fight. And I never forget like my brother and my dad like making me go out and fight. They was like, "We gonna whoop your ass if you don't go and defend yourself. Like we gonna get you." So they made me go and fight, and I fought and I won, and that was like my first fight, and that was my first taste of like power. You get what I mean? And so it went from one extreme to the other. So it went from the extreme of like, oh, I'm meek and I'm just this soft person, to, oh, now I'm hardcore. Now I'm ready to fight. Like, what's up? Whatever you niggas want, I got. Like, that's how I was at one point in my life. So it went from that to being just very aggressive, very on go, very, very ready to fight, very ready to just like do whatever I gotta do to handle my business. So, and not taking no ish from nobody, like even talking to the point where I'm talking back to my mom, I'm like very much so opening my mouth and speaking my mind. So what changed for me to go from that spectrum was because I had my first child. So I had my first child. I went to jail for the first time. I was just going through all of these things, and I'm like, damn, I can't, I can't be like that. Like I can't be this person. I have to dial it back. At the time when I dialed it back, I didn't understand what I do now. And so what I understand now is it has to be a level of balance, right? Has to be balanced. So that's what I mean. I went from one extreme to a whole nother extreme, right? Because nobody, like, people will run all over you and they won't respect you if you just like real chill, real meek, real humble, and you allow people to talk to you or treat you any kind of way. People will run over you, right? But then also it can be very toxic if you that person that's always on go and you ready to like give it to them, you ready to fight, you ready to give whatever energy. Like I'm matching energy, I'm gonna match your energy. So if you're on that level, right, then that can be bad because you'll find yourself in positions that I found myself in, going to jail, always fighting all the time, tired as hell, upset because I can't go to this area because I might see this person, and if I see this person, then I'm gonna fight them. It's on sight, like that type of thing, and that is very toxic, and it's not a happy place. It doesn't feel peaceful. So I went from doing that to kind of being, not even kind of being a pushover, like literally being a pushover, because it was like, dang, I don't want to live that life no more. So I started to see, like, I'm not doing anything to nobody. I'm not doing nothing bad. But the moment that I put up a boundary, then I have to hear all of these bad things about me. And to me, that was my realization, where I start kind of recognizing that I'm a pushover. You get what I mean? So like, me hearing, like, me telling somebody no, or telling somebody about themselves, or how something made me feel in an instance, like, oh, this makes me feel this type of way when you do such and such. And then all of a sudden, I'm the worst person ever. I did all these bad things. And it's like, almost like it's a play on your emotions. It's people out there who are literally emotional vampires. It's people out there who literally love people who, to, I don't know the best way to put it, they see people who are loving, giving, kind, and those type of things. They see people like that as a target, as somebody to pray or somebody to get something from, you know. So that's, one of the things I learned, right? They see people like that as a target. So I began to, like, started asking myself questions, because I'm like, damn, like, I know I didn't do nothing bad to this person. I know I've been there. I know I've been helpful and giving and kind. Like, why does, in the end, I always seem like being the bad guy? And it was like, because nobody is going to respect you, Catalea, unless you respect yourself. So then I start to, you know, pull back and start putting up my boundaries. And when you put up your boundaries, it's going to be, this is how you know who is meant to be in your life or who is not meant to be in your life. Like, for instance, I had a situation where I needed some space. Like, I just needed peace and I needed to be by myself. It was certain people that are close to me that I told this to. Like, look, I'm not going to talk to you for a few weeks. Like, I'm just gonna be to myself. I'm not talking to nobody for a few weeks. Like, it's nothing against you. I'm getting off of the internet. What? Like, it's nothing against you. Like, and even close family members. Like, the craziest part about it is, I told my mother this and she understood. She didn't get upset. So this is my own mom and my kids I'm telling this to, but certain friends, I told this to, they were cool with it. But then I got certain friends who got upset about it, like really mad and thinking all the worst shit about me. Like, oh, you trying to do such and such, you trying to avoid such and such, you trying to treat me such and such type way. And it was like never about that person or those people. It was always about me and my own mental health. But it's like, when you start to see things like that, then you begin to see who's really in your corner and who's really not. And that's okay, because everybody's not meant to be in your life. You get what I mean? Not everybody's meant to be in your life. And so, yeah, I used to be a pushover. But how I overcame it was, the number one thing that I will tell y'all is enforcing boundaries. Because once you start putting up, oh, you called a live. Hey, how you doing, Miss Jones? Once you start putting up boundaries, a lot of people, some people will have a problem with that, and then you'll start to realize, like, who and what is in your life for a specific or a certain type of reason, right? So boundaries to me is like the number one important thing about overcoming being a pushover, because yes, I was hurt. Like, I didn't want nobody to be upset with me. I didn't want nobody to be mad with me. I always wanted to consider everybody else's feelings, and I would do things at a detriment to my own feelings, right? So for instance, this could be something so simple like, oh, I really don't want to do X, Y, and Z, but because I don't want to upset this person, I'm going to do this. Even though deep down, I didn't want to do it. See, doing stuff like that, if it's something you really don't want to do, but you do it, That's not you enforcing your boundaries. And when you do enough of that for two people, they don't quite understand when you telling them no or when you're speaking up for yourself. Rashamir. Sorry. Sorry, Rashamir. I always mess up your name. My bad. But yeah, so so like they don't quite understand that. Like it's like, dang, I didn't treated you well, put you first, did all this stuff, but when I'm telling you no, or I'm telling you this is something that I have a problem with, that's a problem with you because you're so used to doing whatever that I've been allowing you to do. You're so used to doing it. And so then in the long run, I'm the bad guy, or I'm looked at the bad guy because I'm no longer allowing you to treat me or handle me. Not even it don't necessarily have to be you mistreating me. You're just handling me in a way that I don't want to be handled, or in a way that I don't agree with. And I just started to really evaluate that type of thing, and I started to really take a look at that. Like, damn, Catalea, you're the the moment you do something or stick up for yourself or set a boundary, then that's when now all of these bad things about you begin to surface from people's mouths or their lips. But as long as you quiet, as long as you're doing what people want you to do, or as long as you're letting people handle you in a certain kind of way, even though it's a way that you don't feel comfortable with, as long as you're doing that, then they're okay. But the moment you speak up for yourself, the moment you say, no, I don't want to do that, the moment you're like, I'm not doing any of that, then all these bad things come about, you know? It's about control. People think they're in, right. It's definitely about control. It's definitely about control, Rashamir, for sure. So that's what I mean. And it's like, damn. And then it's a lot of people, like one of the number one things that I realized about people right now is a lot of people are hurting. And in that space, people don't truly want to heal from their hurt, right? They don't truly want to heal from their hurt. So the very first thing that's coming to my mind is accountability. A lot of people have a problem with holding themselves accountable for certain things that happen or taking place in their lives, right? So for me, I realized that I can use all the excuses that I want to use, right? I grew up in poverty, you know, I'm a victim of SA, I'm a victim of violence. I done been through all of these different things. And so I could take that and I can utilize all of those things that has happened to me, even in relationships, right? And I can utilize that as an excuse to still further live in hurt, live in pain, and relive certain things that happen in my life, right? I could use it as an excuse. I can use it as a crutch. And I could never get a chance to heal or fix my trauma, right? So we have a lot of people who are walking around carrying a lot of old ass baggage on their backs, right? And they refuse to let that baggage go, and they refuse to hold themselves accountable for things that they have experienced in life. Like, I know that every cause has an effect. So for me, I've learned now to no longer point the finger at somebody else for my circumstances. I have to realize that, yo, Catalea, whatever you've been through is a direct result of your decisions, right? Of your way to process things that's coming your way. It's a direct result of how you process life, how you handle life, you know? So, I mean, I've learned that. And so for me, I think the number one thing that people have a hard time doing is holding themselves accountable. So I completely hold Catalea accountable for everything that's ever happened in my life, regardless of my upbringing, regardless of what I've been through. I realize that it is a choice. It's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be sad, right? And so when you choose your happiness, a lot of people are not going to be okay with that, because when you start to implement boundaries, when you start to tell people that you don't feel comfortable doing something, when you start to walk in your power and say, I deserve better, I deserve better treatment, so I'm just gonna remove myself from this situation. When you see a lot of that happening, when you begin to do that, it's going to be a lot of people who fall or leave or fall out of your life. They're not going to be in your life no more. And the number one thing is, people get, especially, let's say you're leveling up, you're making more money, you're doing better for yourself, you're thriving, whatever it is, right? Let's say that's the case, right? People don't like the you now. They don't like who you've become now. Oh, now she thinks she better than me, or he think he better than me. Now this person is doing the XYZ, and they begin to get jealous and they begin to feel a type of way. And it's like, damn, no, it's true. I'm not the same me. I'm not the same me that I was, right? So they don't necessarily be upset. They be more upset because they're used to the person, the old you that you used to be. They're used to being around that person, right? That's the person that they like, not the new you who is implementing boundaries, not the new you who has confidence, not the new you who refuses to hear all this negative shit all the time. Like, I literally now, like, when people start talking negative or all the bad stuff about their relationships and things like that and whatever happened to, I don't want to hear none of that no more. Like, literally, I get off the phone or I'll remove myself from that situation. And it's not like, oh, I'm better, or whatever. It's like, can we talk about, okay, we can talk about your day and whatever happened, but let's come up with a solution to the problem, instead of every single time I'm talking to you, I got to hear the same old shit over and over and over. Let's come up to a solution to the problem. Let's cut off all the negative talk, and then let's just talk about happy shit and be goofy and funny. Let's do that. So it's like, you'll see the difference when you start implementing boundaries and you stop being a pushover. Because being a pushover simply means that all you're doing is accepting whatever, or treating other people in regards to whatever it is that they desire. And now you're no longer looking at what it is you desire and what it is you truly want, or how you truly feel in your heart. And that's what I'm learning. And these are some of the things that's how I stopped from becoming a pushover. It's one of those sayings that I say, you damned if you do, and you damned if you don't, right? So if you're allowing people to do certain things to you and whatever, um, you're not happy with that, right? That doesn't make you happy that people feel like they could take advantage of you, right? That's not a good feeling, right? So why not implement boundaries and do things in a way that you actually would like, and what you feel deep down in your heart that's the best way to go for you, and also do it in a loving way, to where you're not hurting nobody or harming nobody, or you're not being selfish, like people would like you to think that implementing boundaries means being selfish. But I realize implementing boundaries and not being a pushover makes you more so of connected with who you truly are, like you being unapologetically who you are. You're allowing yourself the freedom to be an individual or have individuality. And that's what so many people lack these days. A lot of people lack having individuality. It's like everyone reading out of the same handbook. Exactly. It really is. It really is, like, nobody has individuality these days. And it's like, if the moment you start being something different, or being who you truly are, like really being yourself, then it's like, that's a problem, or that's an issue. And so the problem is within the school system a lot, because they, from a child, they're teaching our children herd mentality. They're teaching our children that everybody has to be the same. Everybody has to have the same likes, the same belief systems, the same all of that. And the one time, I mean, we see it with so-called cancel culture, right? The one time that somebody says, "Oh, a difference of opinion from the masses," then it's, "Oh, we gonna cancel you," or "This is hateful," or "This is bad." Like, people can't even speak up about their sexual preferences or their sexuality but anymore, like, especially straight people. You know what I mean? Especially straight people, and I think more so straight black women or straight women, period. It's like the moment we say something, it's a problem, it's an issue, you know. And of course, the same thing happens for our brothers, because the moment they say that they don't like XYZ, it's time to cancel. But it's crazy because I don't, just because that person doesn't think the same as you doesn't mean it's a hateful thing. I think it's individuality is a beautiful thing. And we have to start embracing individuality. Not everybody is gonna be not everybody is gonna have the same mindset or the same things that you have or whatever. Think the same way you think. Not everybody's going to do that, because we all have our own life experiences. We all been raised differently. We have different parents, different spiritual backgrounds, different upbringing. So it's like we have so much different things, but they want us to um, live in the same level of just like everybody think the same. It's almost like they want us to be robots. Honestly, that's the best way to put it. It's almost like they want us to be robots and not be able to think for ourselves. So that was one of the ways that I overcame this concept of being a pushover, because I was a pushover. I was a pushover. And I realized that even me doing all of that did not garner me the respect that I truly desired. Me doing, like, being that type of person was more so of a detriment to me, because I still didn't get the respect. I still didn't get, the love. I still didn't get the things that I thought that I would receive if I was selfless. You know, if I just did things or let people get away with stuff or did certain things for people just because, you know, that actually was a bad existence for me. It did not feel good, and I got less respect by doing so, you know. And now I'm more at peace. Like, I think I'm more at peace than I've been in a long time, because I have implemented those boundaries. I do know my worth. I do know my value. I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do. I'm not going to do something just to please somebody else, even if just for it to please somebody else, for it to be detrimental to me and to myself, you know, because you can never please anybody. That's what I learned. There is always going to be somebody upset with you or somebody mad at you. Like, there is no pleasing everybody. There's no pleasing everybody. So I'm not saying you might as well just please yourself or be selfish, but what I'm saying is you might as well be authentic to your heart. You know what I'm saying? Be authentic to your heart. Be authentic to your heart. Go with your gut feeling, your gut intuition. You know, don't let anybody turn you into um, something that you're not. Don't allow people to just treat you any kind of way. Don't be a pushover, because either way it goes, you know, it's just, you're not gonna be happy doing that. You're just not. And I know from my own experience. I know from my own experience, because even in doing so, you've been a pushover. There is nothing or no amount of anything that you could ever do for somebody to make them satisfied. Right? The more you do for somebody and the more they get away with it, the more they will never be satisfied. You know? Never. Never. So that pushover shit is for the birds, okay? Like, even still now, I be catching myself. I be catching myself because, we got to break old habits. But even now, like, sometimes I catch myself and I be like, damn, like, stop. No, you're not going to do that. No. I literally, like, have to have conversations with myself, like, that doesn't make sense, Catalina. This person is doing XYZ because they feel as if you're going to do it. No, don't do that. So it's like I have to catch myself. We are alone in the crowded city, right? When we change ourselves and mindsets, it's a problem. It is, right? And it's like now, like, it's so crazy. Like, when you actually heal yourself and you do the work for healing, right? You begin and like, you actually have healed yourself, you've done the work, you've gotten rid of your trauma and all that. It's so crazy how you get to really truly see certain things in people that you never did look at before. So I don't believe in the whole trauma bonding thing. Fuck trauma bonding. I'm not doing it. I'm not bonding with you over a mutual trauma that has happened. We're not doing that. So when you get to see, like, you see certain things that people say or they do or whatever, and you recognize, like, oh, this person has this type of trauma, or this person doesn't want to let go of this, or this person is depressed, or this person, I mean, you begin to see it one after you have done the work, you know right? You begin to see it. So I'm gonna tell you guys, yes, it's cool to be empathetic and sympathetic to people's situations and to things that they've been through in life. But when you consistently see a pattern of someone talking about the same thing over and over and over again, and they're caught in a loop, and you consistently see them not fixing the situation, not doing nothing to change the situation or whatever, that person has things that they need to heal and they need to work on, and you need to remove yourself out of that, because at the end of the day, one of three things is going to happen, right? That person is going to start taking whatever pain out on you that they've experienced. They're going to take it out on you. Another thing that could happen is they're going to look at you as if, like, you're the enemy, or you're going to do something bad to them, or you have bad intentions. They're going to always be, like, on the defense. They're going to always be, like, you know worried or looking or trying to figure things out, or how you might want to treat them. Like, it's almost like they're delusional, and they really think you're going to do them bad, or you're out to get them, or you truthfully want to do them dirty, right? And then another thing that could really happen is that person could actually have the "I'm gonna get you before you get me" mentality, or how that saying goes, hurt people hurt people. So they may try to hurt you because they feel like, damn, you living your life, you you happy, you're doing good. Let me bring you down to my level. Let me hurt you. Let me show you. Let me humble you, right? So that saying, hurt people, and that's one of the things that I really be feeling like a lot of people will do. And this is why I don't encourage people to trauma bond, don't trauma bond, and I don't encourage people to be around other people who are going through their healing journey. I think if you really truthfully care about somebody, or you really truly love somebody, and somebody hasn't come to the terms with their healing, or if not even trying to put forth an effort in healing, I think they need to, like, just sit with themselves and be by themselves to really come to a realization of, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be in my life? And hopefully they can change the error of their ways. But when you stay around people who deal with that type of thing, who hasn't even done the work on their trauma, who's not trying to do the work, who only wants to complain and only wants to keep themselves down, when you be around those type of people, it's going to wind up hurting you in the end, or they're going to wind up doing something, trying to control you in a way to where they want to hurt you, and they don't even know they want to hurt you, because they don't understand the effect that their trauma has. They may not be thinking in their mind that they're going to hurt you. They may not be thinking anything bad, but it's the actions that they do. A lot of times the actions are the things that they do, and in regards to the trauma that they have, it has an effect on you. And you have to just be like, you know what? This is the last straw. I'm good. Like, I'm going to let you be by yourself. And you're no longer, I'm not allowing this treatment anymore. Like, I'm not allowing you to be able to, like, mistreat me or treat me in a way that doesn't line up with how I treat myself. You feel me? You said stay away from one-dimensional bots, NPCs, clones. Yep. And it's a lot of, and that's another thing. Like when we're talking about metaphysical, right? Let's talk about it from a metaphysical aspect or an esoteric aspect, because I'm happy that Rashamir brought that up. When we're talking about it from a metaphysical or esoteric aspect, let's talk about the fact that a lot of people don't understand that just like you have spirit guides, right? Just like you have spirit guides, you have angels, you have ancestors that are here with you that you cannot see them in this world, in this 3D world. You can't see them, right? However, just like you have those, you also have other others that are designed to knock you off of your path, to send people to you, to knock you off of your path, because you don't realize the level of greatness, or you don't, a lot of you guys don't even know what your purpose is, right? And you're not realizing your purpose. Yeah, you know that you have some great qualities about yourself. Yeah, you know that that you're a good person or whatever, but a lot of people hasn't even truly tapped in to what their purpose is. They have not done it, right? And so you can talk about your good qualities all day, but if you're not utilizing your good qualities to uplift the vibrational field or uplift the vibrations and change people's minds and change people's hearts and heal, if you're not utilizing your gifts and your talents for your purpose, then what is the purpose? The purpose is not to go to work every day and just make some money and slave for these companies that keeps us mentally enslaved, that keeps us tired and keeps us drained and keep us from recognizing our potential. That's not your purpose. This is my purpose. My purpose is to bring healing. My purpose is to heal through all the things that I've been through, which is why I ask for wisdom. That's my purpose. So the thing about it is, when you begin to step into your purpose, walk in your purpose, love, respect, when you begin to do those things, just like your angels and spirit guides are guiding you, there's other entities out there that are put there just to knock you off your path, because they don't want you to align with your purpose. They want to keep the vibrations of this earth off and down so they can suck the earth out of its resources. And do you understand that you are a resource? How much energy and magnetic electricity and so many things that your body carries, just the energy that your body carries, is a resource. It's what keeps this earth moving. It's what keeps this earth going, right? But the more you lower yourself, right, the more off balance this place that we call earth is. And it's a lot of people who don't want you to fulfill your purpose. They don't. And they were put there for a reason. They're put there for a reason. Yeah. Got to come back all over again until you get it right. But this has been a good build, y'all. So happy to be back on these YouTube streets. It's so crazy because I did not think, like, I was supposed to do this live yesterday, but I don't even want to tell y'all all the stuff that happened. It was so much going on yesterday, y'all. And I was just so frustrated and so flustered. And so I know y'all kept seeing me push the time back, push the YouTube time back, because I wanted to. I'm like, no, Catalina, you said that you were going to start being consistent on YouTube. You are not going to let any hurdles bring you down. But y'all, listen, yesterday was one of those days where I was just like, oh my God, really? I mean, from the time I woke up, it was one of those days. So I was like, oh my goodness. And so I kept pushing the time back, pushing the time back. And by the time I could actually sit down to do this video, I was so tired. I was exhausted. And then I was like, I'm going to do it at noon today. I was like, no, I'm not going to put off all the chores and all the things that I need to do around the house, because it was so much that I needed to do around the house. I got a sick son. He's 16. He's sick right now, y'all. So it's just so much that I had to do that I could not put off. So I was like, let me come on. I'm going to come on at 2. And I'm so glad that you guys are back rocking with me. We're going to start having these conversations, these dialogues more often. I will be back tomorrow, y'all. So I'm gonna put up the link so we can have conversations. And I mean, I'm always gonna have the link. So if you guys want to talk and y'all want to get up here and whatever, that's gonna always be an option to you guys, because this is not just my channel. This is your channel. That's something that I've always said. Have some great interviews coming up. What time tomorrow? Probably about the same time, like 2:00 ish, because people have church and a lot of people don't go to church, but you know, people still do their spiritual practices on Sunday and things like that. So about 2:00, 3:00 around there. But we'll be back tomorrow. I'll let y'all know what the topic is going to be. But I thought that this was a very good topic to talk about, because this is something that I've struggled with for so long. And I don't know, it's a lot of people who might not can relate or have not struggled with, you know, being a pushover, or like I've been both. Like I've been the bully, um, noon California time. Yeah, it'll be about noon to. You know what? I didn't think about my West Coast family, because I do got a lot of West Coast viewers. So we'll do it at we'll do that 3. Yeah, we'll do it at 3. That way it'll be like 1:00 California time. So we'll do it about 3:00 tomorrow. That gives people time to get out. But yeah, so yeah, I love you guys. I'm about to get up off of here. Love and light, family. Peace and blessings. You could have been anywhere in this world, but you was rocking with me. Peace. Love you guys. Bye.